What's up, Magnum Sports Network fans? My name is JT Magnum here along with Siggy Guns, and welcome to our new show called Take Two. Yes, it looks very similar to ESPN's First Take, and that's basically what we're doing. It's basically take two of that. We really like that show a lot, Stephen A. and Skip Bayless, and we talk about it all the time, Siggy and I, so we decided, let's do one ourselves and let's debate on our own. So today we're going to start off and we're going to talk about first Cam Newton's big deal today. 5-year, $103.8 million extension. The details are not complete yet, so I'm not sure exactly how much. I mean, from what we hear, it's like over 67 million, I believe, in 3 years, which is like a record, NFL record. But not sure how much of that is incentive based, or how much of that he actually gets. He most likely he signed a player-friendly contract. That's what these quarterbacks seem to be signing lately. But Siggy, what do you think of the signing of Cam Newton on that 5-year extension?
Well, according to Schefter, 60 million of it is guaranteed, and apparently 30 million of it is the first year. So we don't know exactly if that means he's getting 90 million guaranteed, or if it's 60 million and half of it is up front and the other 30 is for injury. Whatever, we don't know the details of it, but we do know it's a huge deal, another big deal for a quarterback. And now you just have to wonder how much, if he's worth that much, how much do you think Andrew Luck and Russell Wilson would get? Because all these quarterbacks that have been getting all these contracts lately have been pretty big. And it's just scary to know that guys like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and all that are bargains at this point.
Yeah, Tom Brady signed a deal. He basically took less money on purpose. He wanted to make sure his team was always going to compete for a Super Bowl. And Tom Brady doesn't really need the money. I'm sure they pay him under the table anyways with the way they cheat. So I'm just kidding about that. But
I would hope that
I just angered like half. I just angered like 500,000 people in Boston. But yeah, and looking at Andrew Luck and Russell Wilson coming up, I see just dollar signs, because Russell Wilson's already won a Super Bowl. He's been in 2 Super Bowls, won one, and he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL already. He's on he benefits obviously from being on a really good team, but he does make that team better. So the contract he's going to get. I guess the
real question is, all right, do you think Cam Newton is worth that money?
For me personally, I think Cam Newton's a great quarterback. I think he's been on a team with a horrible offensive line. I think he's been on a team with a really pretty good defense. They were really good one year. They went through some tough times last year, but he's really never had that many wide receivers. He's had Steve Smith, Brandon LaFell, who went opposite ways and did well on other teams, yes, but he's never really had the wide receiver, combination of players. I mean, this year he's got some weapons. They did add some people this year, but still, I mean, the guy's been playing, and he rushes for a lot of touchdowns. I think he has, the third most touchdowns for his first 4 seasons as a quarterback. And, I mean, obviously you combine the rushing touchdowns and passing touchdowns. That's what they did with that. But he's a phenomenal player, phenomenal athlete, and he's a all-around great guy. The guy, he keeps himself clean. You never hear him in really, any trouble. You never hear any problems with Cam Newton, no issues. He does a lot for for kids and for people with special needs. He's just an all around, is one of those perfect players that you can say, unless something happens in the next few months that we don't know about Cam Newton. I mean, he's just one of those just great players that you hear about, just loves playing the game, always has a smile on his face, and, he comes to work every game. So I have nothing really against Cam Newton, and I think, yes, he's every bit worth the money, especially when you think about who else is out there. Who's there? Who's there to sign?
Here's the thing about these quarterback contracts right now. It's obviously his contract is pretty big. Obviously, even if it's a 60 million guarantee, that puts him in the same ballpark as what Aaron Rodgers got. I think it was 54 million. But here's some other quarterbacks. Obviously, your boy, Kaepernick. I know his deal is a little bit structured differently, but I mean, when you put it on the surface, it's 7 years, 126 million. With a lot of it guaranteed, right? Was it 25, I think, or maybe more than that? I forgot.
He got some guaranteed. He got a decent amount guaranteed, but the thing with him is they can actually release him after next year, and he won't get any of that money anymore, period. His guaranteed money was up front right off the bat. Correct, but at the same time, his deal, he has to earn it. Like, his deal is basically made with, it's completely incentive laden. Like, he has a base salary of like close to what Tom Brady is making basically, and he has to basically earn every bit of that money. So if he's set to earn like 19 million this year, I think like 9 or 10 of it, he has to earn it. The other like 9 or 10, I believe, is basically his salary. So I mean, if you look at it that way, then yeah, he's worth it.
Well, and then on top of that, the other guy I was going to say, Jay Cutler, his deal is actually just like Aaron Rodgers, $54 million guaranteed, 7 years, $127 million. And this is a guy that the Bears were thinking about dropping last year. In fact, they benched him at the end of the year. So
yeah,
that's pretty.
To me, that's. But then again, like, you got to look at it this way as well. Who else is out there? Who else is out there to sign for
Dalton's
that kind
contract? Same way.
Exactly. There's nobody else right now. It's almost like they're paying to not get rid of these guys because there's nobody else to get right now. Like, there's no other. These quarterbacks aren't developing. Like, there's not many great quarterbacks in the NFL like there used to be, like just tons of great ones. It seemed like now there's just like, quarterbacks here and there, but there's a lot of guys out there that are getting good money, but they're basically getting good money because there's nobody else left to sign. So we'll see what happens with that. But Cam Newton, I think, is worth. Is he worth $20 million? I'm not sure, but given his track record, I mean, the guy, he's not going to throw 50 touchdown passes a year. He's not going to, score 50 touchdowns a year or anything like that. It's not going to be one of those kind of things. But is he a good leader? Yes. Is he a good person? Yes. Does he come to work every day, works hard, and does his best to win? Yes. Does he throw it all out in the field? Yes. So if you factor those in, is he worth that kind of a money? Or worth that kind of money, then yes, in my opinion, he's worth it.
Well, he's definitely worth it, especially when you compare it to some of these other contracts. And that's just going to be the scary part about Andrew Luck's deal and Russell Wilson, because Luck right now is the Peyton Manning of the NFL as far as stats go.
He's going to get paid.
4,000 yards plus.
He's getting paid.
35 plus touchdowns. And if these quarterbacks, especially Cutler, if he can get 127 million and 54 guaranteed, and you just look at what Cam Newton signed, he should get at minimum a 7-year, $130 to $140 million contract with $65 million guaranteed, just by the way everything is going so far.
Oh, he's going to get paid.
Russell Wilson, I think, will probably be a Rodgers type of contract, because since he does have the Super Bowl ring, he could probably say, hey, look, well, you got to at least give me what Rodgers got, which is $110 million, 5 years, and probably $60 million also in guaranteed.
Well, the Russell Wilson thing is weird because I believe they don't want to give him too much guaranteed, where Russell Wilson's looking for more guaranteed. So we'll see what happens with that. But he basically wants a contract a la Kaepernick's contract. He wants to be able to still sign Seattle's good players and keep that team the most intact they can, because there's no way they're going to be able to sign all their players. It's just not going to happen. They've benefited from a lot of low draft picks, making lower money and doing really well, and it looks like he's trying to make it so they could be able to sign that, to keep that team together. But I don't think it's going to happen.
But if you're Russell Wilson, would you really want to do a team thing? I mean, let's face it, Tom Brady, the reason why he's able to do the team contract is because he's Tom Brady. Russell Wilson's not Tom Brady. A lot of people on the outside always say the same thing. It's that defense. It's Marshawn Lynch. He was put into a good situation. If you took Kaepernick and put him on Seattle, do you don't think they'll be able to win just with him? I mean, it almost seems like that's the case. I don't see Russell Wilson as a Tom Brady or anything like that. So if I were him, if I were his agent, I'll tell him, hey, no friendly deals. You want all the money you can get right now, because in 2 years when they realize that after that defense is gone, or after Marshawn Lynch is gone, and you're exposed, and you have to try to throw, 40 touchdowns, and it just isn't going to work, then all of a sudden you just drop, and there goes all the money you had because you were loyal.
I don't know. I happen to like Russell Wilson. I'm not a big Seahawks fan, but I respect Russell Wilson and his game. And the guy, he's a good passer. He can fling it when he needs to. He can pass it when he needs to. He also has not had any wide receivers on that team. They don't have like the biggest name wide receivers on that team. So he's done well with how he's done. They do well within their scheme, and for him to try to keep the team intact, I understand. The case. So we'll see what happens with that.
But why would he keep the team intact, though? See, Brady keeps the team intact because he's already paid all the time. So, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't advise it. He's not in position, in my opinion.
Regardless, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. So is
he's
Andrew
gonna
Luck.
get paid.
Andrew Luck's probably going to have a record contract. So, well, that does it.
Yeah, I think his contract's good.
That does it for the first episode of Take Two. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you feel about the Cam Newton deal. Let us know how you feel about what you think Russell Wilson and Andrew Luck might get, or if you think any other quarterbacks are worth their contracts. And stay tuned for some more of Take Two, our new show. All right? Peace out, guys.